All right. So hello to all of the people watching again later at home. So nice to have you. I might be a few minutes early. Welcome. It is Friday, March 1st. We are making risotto. Why, you might ask? Well, I have an assignment for one of my classes where I have to learn how to make risotto. And much like the kale salad, I figured, why not do it with friends? So, today is a learning experience for everyone involved. If you've ever made risotto, please let me know how I'm doing, okay? And then we have to get started because I've heard it takes a long time and I talk a lot and I've never gone the whole hour and I don't want to do it today. Thanks for bearing with me. Today I don't have a sous chef, so it's all me. So, as part of my assignment, I had to make sure that I wasn't using any other technique to make rice, to make this rice dish. And I think that some of you maybe have had risotto with pasta before. And so I also kind of have that question, like, what is risotto that you can make it with pasta or you can make it with rice? What does that mean? So I have a few articles printed out, and I may read word for word from them. If I do, I will try to link those articles so that it's not plagiarism. So here someone's asking like, hey, what's the difference between risotto and rice? Risotto is an Italian rice dish. It's made by briefly sauteing the rice in olive oil or butter, often with some onion, then adding a little bit of stock, stirring almost constantly until the rice absorbs the stock. Then adding a little bit more stock, then stirring, then adding a little bit more stock, then stirring, adding until it's done. That's what kind of freaks me out. It's like, just do it until it's done. And I'm like, well, what is risotto supposed to taste like when it's done? Starchy, I guess. So it says that we're supposed to use a medium or short grain rice. Some people differed on whether the rice should be short grain. Everyone said arborio rice was okay. I know that this is going to be backwards. Sorry. So I'm using arborio rice because every website and every article I read was like, you should try arborio rice, especially if it's the first time you're doing it, which it is. So I got my arborio rice. I have a really cute setup that you can't see because my camera angle. So yeah, I got my rice. I got my olive oil. I got my broth. I got my salt. I got my onion. I got my rice. Today I'm using 1 cup of arborio rice. I have garlic. I have tomatoes, which I got from the farmer's market. I wish you could see my dog has her head completely in the cart. Up, please. Up. It's also her dinner time, so she's going to be super annoying today. Learning as we go. We're learning as we go. We're learning as we go. All right. So I'm going to start by chopping onions because we're on a budget in terms of time. All right. So I'm sure all of you have seen an onion chopped before, so just for the sake of time, I'm going to go easy on the narration, but I have a sweet onion. I like using these yellow onions. They're sweeter. I use them in almost everything. You'll have to forgive me. I'm very nervous because I've never made this dish before, and I really have no idea how it's going to turn out. So, hi Mo, welcome to my cook-along. I don't know if you caught my posts, but we're making risotto, and I'm nervous because I've never made it before, and so it may be it may be one of my less funny episodes because I can't really riff very much because I'm kind of nervous about how this risotto is going to turn out. But anyway, currently chopping a yellow onion. Some thrilling information here. So, I'm just using improper knife form intermittently. I will mention the claw, which is what you should use when you're chopping, especially with a sharp knife. I love talking about sharp knives. You're going to hold something with your little claw, and when you're knifing things, hopefully your knife will hit your knuckles. Thanks, Mom. Will hit your knuckles and not, if you have improper form and you're cutting like this, then that's how you chop fingers off. I've had a few interactions with knives that have gone poorly on my end, and they always go less poorly when the knife is sharp. So get yourself a sharp knife and keep it sharp. Keep it sharp. Protect it with your life. Wash it, dry it, and put it away immediately after you're done using it. Do as I say, not as I do. Sometimes my knife lives on the side of the sink, but my husband's actually very good at putting away, chastised by me, especially on the knife front. So here we go with the knife. I am just chopping it into rough pieces, and we are going to get started. So, as I was saying before you beauties joined me, I'm using arborio rice because it is a medium grain rice. And when we're making risotto, we want it to be starchy. My understanding is that a platonic ideal of a risotto is creamy, and that cream comes not from a cream that you add, but from the starch interacting with whatever liquid you add to make your risotto creamy. So that's the goal. Some other varieties well suited to make risotto are Carnaroli and Vialone Nano. That was my best attempt at an Italian accent. And then I have 6 other pages about rice techniques, which I'm not going to read to you, but I am going to use as a reference for myself. All right. Ooh, here's interesting. Risottos are made with a ratio of almost twice as much liquid to rice as compared to either paella or rice pilaf. So risotto should be creamy, and you're going to use a lot more liquid. So I have 1 cup of rice, and I have 2 boxes of broth. So hopefully that will be enough. I feel like I'm yelling at you. Okay. So a basic risotto begins by making a flavor base called a sofrito. The usual ingredients are olive oil, onions, garlic, and herbs. All right, so here we go. We're going to heat the oil. I already turned this on. I think you can probably hear it. I miss my baby. I hope he comes home soon. All right, so I added some oil, and the idea is that you keep the heat on the pan pretty low. You're not going to be frying these onions or stir frying these onions. So I have my heat on very low. I added the oil, and I don't want these onions to simmer. I basically want them to just sweat out their water. So this is a little more than half a small yellow onion, sweet onion. And it's just roughly chopped. When you make your little sofrito, it should kind of melt, so you shouldn't be seeing much of the onion in the end, which is also why this dish takes so long. Excuse me, somebody is licking my plates down here. All right, so I got that going on. And next, I guess I'm going to open these puppies up. I'm also going to add some of these tomatoes. This is definitely an experiment. These tomatoes, you'll see how it turns out. Who's here? Somebody has joined. Okay, so these are little cherry tomatoes I got at the farmer's market. I'm just adding a few of them for flavor. And if you want to see my version of proper cutting techniques, I'm just holding it like a bitty football and slicing in between. Trying not to cut my fingers off. Homegirl wants some tomato over here. Did you get it? Get it, girl. All right. So I'm going to do that. And next up, I'm going to add some garlic. Actually, the how-to video that my instructor made, she added her garlic when she added her rice. So I'm probably going to wait to add that garlic, but I am going to start taking pains to cut it up and stuff. Is it getting dark in here, or is it just me? You guys seem to be able to see things just fine. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. Alright, so my onions are sweating. This could take up to 15 minutes. Should I have done this before? Yes. Is this a cook-along? Yes. So I'm just sweating these onions. I just want them to be translucent. I do not want to brown them. It's going to get really hot in here. Oh, I can already tell. Okay. Okay. So how to chop garlic? Ooh. People are back. Hi, Karen. So for those of you who just got here or just rejoined, in here, this is my Lodge cast iron skillet. In my skillet, I have chopped onions and I just sliced some cherry tomatoes in half. I am trying to sweat them and not brown them. I'm just trying to get them to their cell walls to burst and release the water. So I'm not trying to saute or brown, just trying to kind of lightly cook them. Somebody else is here. So I am also not quite adding the garlic. Could you guys see that? It just went away. Now, in previous episodes of this show, which some of you may or may not have seen, I did teach you how to cut garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and reference you to those non-existent videos. They should be up on my YouTube channel sometime. Or I am going to start experimenting with IGTV. I'm going to try to like chop up some of my live videos and just put the pieces of them on there, like technique videos or like me dribbling on about quality of eggs and how to tell if your eggs are good. But it turns out, when I was talking about eggs, I talked about eggs for 20 minutes, and my limit with 80 followers is 10 minutes, so I cannot put that video on there as is. I need to figure out how to cut down my content to 10 minutes. New frontier for me. I feel like it's going to get really dark really quick. Please pardon me while I turn on some more lights. Also, just so you guys know what I'm doing, I am pushing these around with a flat bamboo utensil, just trying to make sure they don't brown. They are sizzling because they are leaking water, but I'm trying not to saute them. Okay, so the sun is setting here, and tomorrow, I know a lot of you, I know most people do have short attention spans. I'm not really here for those people, but I know that some of my friends may fall into that camp, but we'll see. It's hard to make risotto quickly. I guess I could do one of those speed up videos, but honestly, my capacity to make videos and content is not there right now, nor is that my priority, since I have to make risotto this week for my class, and it doesn't matter if it's on IGTV or not, but I guess eventually it will be. Okay, so here we go. My stuff is sizzling. Should I turn it down? I don't know. Should I add the rice? Maybe. I am not an expert risottoer, and neither do you have to be an expert risottoer to try to make risotto. I think that's kind of like what I want you to get if you get one thing from this risotto video. It's that even if you don't know how to do something, it's okay to try. It's okay to mess it up. It's okay to burn it. It's okay to let other people know that you burnt it. It's okay to let other people know that you don't know how to cook or whatever. You know, we all start somewhere. Every person who's ever made an award-winning risotto had to start by making their first plate of risotto. So that's where I am. I also don't really cook with grains at my house. I follow more of like a paleo template, which doesn't usually add grains. I will eat rice when I eat out, or I just added the garlic. I will eat rice when I eat out or when I'm at Chipotle or when I'm at other people's houses, but I don't make it at the house. So rice is not like in my repertoire of things that I'm good at or used to making. So it is definitely sizzling. Listen to me tell you not to let it sizzle. And it's definitely also brown. All right, we are adding the rice. Did I rinse this? No. How much rice is it? How much rice is it? 1 cup. What did you do with it? I just took it out of the bag and put it in the pan. All right. Next on this adventure, I'm going to move well a bit closer. Ooh, this is really hot. Ooh, okay. I'm going to move you guys a little bit closer. All right. Here is my risotto so far. Okay. So, I added the garlic. It's probably sizzling. So the idea is that the risotto will absorb the liquid little by little. And as you may be able to see, the edges of the grains are already translucent. That is something I've heard is a good thing. So there's that. And it's almost time to add, oh dear, you guys probably all had to turn your, there we go. Is that terrible? If it's terrible, just put a comment saying this view is terrible, and I will workshop it. But, all right, so the edges of the grains are translucent. I'm going to start adding bone broth. If you're vegetarian, you don't have to use bone broth. You can use vegetable stock. Vegetable stock is a concoction made by putting water and vegetables together until the vegetables imbue some of their flavor to the water. So, and then bone broth is a clear liquid made of bone. So you put water and bones on low heat for a long time, and the nutrients and the flavors from the bones are imparted into the liquid. And bone broth, oh, the liquid's gone, so I'm gonna add more. The bone broth is actually a source of a lot of really great nutrients, including collagen, which you may have heard a lot about lately. Collagen is a protein, but it is a very simple protein in the form that your body uses it. So collagen is in your ligaments, it is in your skin, it is in your tissues, it is used to make your gut lining, and it's very easily used by your body. So a lot of people either add collagen to their drinks, because you can get it like in a hydrolyzed powder. That's really easy to add to your drinks and it's tasteless. Or some people drink bone broth, especially like if they have digestive issues and they're trying to heal their gut. People will use bone broth and the collagen it contains as a way to correctly provide their body with the building blocks to heal their gut. So we're using bone broth from cow bones. And if you're ever using bone broth, just like everything else, I encourage you to use the highest quality bones you can find or the highest quality broth you can find, because the animal uses what it eats to make its bones. So you want to keep that in mind when you're eating bone broth or drinking bone broth. Bone broth is... Yes, darling. Are you okay? You want some bone broth? She's like, it's my dinner time. I know. Oh, baby. Okay, so as you can see, I am just adding liquid every time it seems to have disappeared from the pot or pan. and I'm just stirring things around. When will I add the salt? I don't know. Sometime. Let's do it now. There's some salt. How much was it? Who knows? I just sprinkled it in there. I guess we'll find out if it's salty enough at the end. But, so basically this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So the rice will be absorbing the liquid, and then the starch from the rice, which has a special name, will also be mixing in with the dish, allowing it to become creamy. And I've been told that, did you pre-make the bone broth? No, I bought this bone broth. This particular bone broth is from a company called Thrive Market, and I bought it for situations like this where I don't have any made. I have made bone broth before. I have a bunch of bones in my freezer that I'm going to use soon to make bone broth. I make my bone broth in the Instant Pot. It's much quicker. And if you ever want to make a bone broth, you just freeze your bones until you're ready to use them. So I'm not picky about flavor. So I have some cow bones, I have some chicken bones, and I have some pork bones all in there, and I'm just going to put them all together. I can probably do like a tutorial on how to make bone broth in the Instant Pot. I have also made it in the slow cooker. It takes much longer. My mom hates it because it fills the whole house with the smell of bone broth, and it is a very distinct smell. So if you don't like the smell of bone broth, you might want to try it in the slow cooker. Or the Instant Pot, since it seals and stuff, but my mom also didn't like that either. So, but yeah, I used, I don't know if you guys remember my Thanksgiving turkey that I did via sous vide, but I saved a lot of the bones from the initial carving of the turkey and made bone broth for pho the next day. So like a lot of people use their Thanksgiving turkey to make bone broth, and then they use their leftover turkey to make like turkey pho soup kind of the next day. So that's what I like doing. I have a recipe for pho that I really like. So, well, it's like faux pho, I guess, because I'm not Vietnamese, but yeah. All right. How will I know this risotto is done? Nope, that is not even close. Nope. All right, babies. We got a long way to go, so keep those questions coming, because otherwise it's just going to be me stirring, and that does not make good content. So, that was too much water. I would have less. I will read to you what it says about the starch. This starch in this case is called amylopectin. It's the starch that makes the sticky rice sticky, and it seeps into the dish and gelatinizes. That's why when you eat risotto, it is creamy. Stirred and stirred. Are the grains, would you all say the grains are golden brown? They don't need a golden brown, which means I might have added stock too early, but that's okay. The instructions say that literally this could take 45 minutes or more, which would be not good, but we will see. Share the pho recipe sometime. Yeah, sure. I'll share it with my modifications, because I hardly ever follow a recipe the way it's written. But yeah, the reason that I actually made it for the first time was because I completely messed up these pork chops. Like, we cooked these pork chops and they were like inedible, and I was like, well, we can just make pho and we'll add it. And it was so good, because when you make good food and you add one ingredient that's not as good, it masks the pork chops. Like, yeah, it was sad. It was sad, but then we were able to use pork chops in the end, and it was delicious. So that's the story behind the pho. I feel like I'm flying blind here, you guys. Why do people like risotto? Does bone broth taste different when you use different animal bones, like cow bones versus turkey bone? Yes, love. It actually does. Some people who like, yeah, I'm not very good at describing flavor. That's like a whole science unto itself, right? But I can definitely tell the difference between like a chicken broth and a beef broth. Like beef has a super strong taste, actually. Yeah, because cows are made differently than chickens. And so like a turkey, like a poultry broth usually is more, like has more sodium naturally. So it's like a little saltier, it's a little lighter. Um, I think it's also easier to access and store. And then bone broth from cows is like, oh, it's like potent. And I can drink turkey broth and chicken broth. Like when I used to work at an assisted living facility, they used to have broth available every day, like as one of their soups of the day. And I could eat it every single day. I could just drink it just like that. But cow broth, like from cow bones, I can't drink it straight like that. I just can't. And there's some super fancy restaurants in New York that will serve you like a cup of bone broth as if you're buying like a coffee, except for like probably 3 times more expensive, and spice it up and stuff, and they add turmeric. Oh, my dog just grabbed a shirt. Hold on. She misses her love. She misses her dog father. Yeah, so I've never actually bought broth from a vendor, but yeah, I that's all I know is that I can drink poultry broth straight, but I cannot drink uh, bovine broth straight. So, yeah. It also depends on what spices you add and what food you add and what aromatics you add. So, all right. Whew, I'm glad you're here, Karen, because honestly, this is not my idea of fun. All right. It does seem to be getting creamy. We are making risotto. Woo. All right. Here we go. I'm going to actually taste it. So this whole time, I don't know. You can't see what number it's been on. Oh, that is. Oh, yeah. That's getting more, quote, creamy. It's still not done, but I don't know if you can see, but this is an induction cooktop. I literally just have it on 2. It's like very low heat. But yeah, it is getting creamier. Karen, when you've had risotto at a restaurant, for example, was it like al dente? Was it like tough in your mouth? Or was it like completely creamy, like super soft? Asking for a friend, of course. Uh-oh, my dog must be up to no good because she's not making any noise. Come here, Lovey. Hi, baby. My sous chef today. You all have been so good, you deserve a dog. A dog peek. Here she is. Good dog. Oh, she's gonna get it all over my rug. Perfect. All right, back to this risotto. All right. Whew. Well, I can guarantee you guys that this is a one-time only event. You will never see me do this on camera ever again. So this is quite an exclusive event here in Casa Rivera. I may never make risotto again, actually. I think there's a grain-free risotto in one of my paleo cookbooks that I would like to try, but I did want to give it the old college try at first because, it's nice to have the experience of making risotto. I mean, it's not that I feel like I'm bad at it, because this doesn't really seem like I'm bad at it. It's just like kind of boring to just stir these tomatoes. So I appreciate all of you who are here watching me stir this rice around. Okay, let's play a game. Comment your favorite food in the comments below. Actually, yeah. Comment 2, your favorite food in general, and then your favorite vegetable. I'll be kind, don't worry, I won't correct you if what you tell me isn't a vegetable. You guys, I'm just going to put you back on the original. Seriously, guys, this phone is so hot, I have no idea why it has not turned off yet, because it's like super on fire, because I've been charging it this whole time, because it was on 24% battery when I started. Okay, and it's really hot in here. Right. I'm not going to give you any cliches about staying out of the kitchen if you can't stand how hot it is. This is what I look like as I'm stirring risotto. Oh, I love sushi. Felix, we never went to sushi. That's on our to-do list. My baby's home! And my dog is very excited to see him in hopes that perhaps she will get fed. Okay, it's time to try these. This is risotto. Look at all the steam.
Shout out people out there.
Okay, it is getting creamier. It's still a little al dente. I can see now why this takes 45 minutes. Alright, we're gonna keep going. This is exhausting. Now I can see why people consider this a delicacy or whatever.
Shout out to Opie for watching.
Is he here?
I don't know, but I want him to see this.
Why?
Because I love him.
I saw Brenda and Josie make an appearance. They still be here.
I made it back home safe, guys.
Okay, babies, we are back, and I know this angle is not the best, but we're just probably gonna, I took off my sweatshirt, I am wearing a shirt underneath, I'm not naked under here, and we are reaching the end of the risotto party. I think it is getting ready to eat, getting close. Oh, okay, yeah, it's getting better. We're entering English. I don't know what happened during our session. But here's my risotto. Is it any good? It's getting there. My phone was very hot, so I unplugged it. So here is the resulting product. It's getting really close. As you can tell, this is an involved process. So we're holding in there, hanging in there. I am trying to see if I'm going to have to open another broth container because I finished the first one that I had. It was 500 milliliters or 16.9 fluid ounces. So I don't know. And I don't know how much a cup usually is, but remember we talked about in the other video that pretty much risotto uses a lot of liquid, but you can see there's still some liquid in the pan that hasn't been absorbed yet. So we might be good. Okay, we are on 15% battery, so hopefully we can finish this risotto before my phone dies. And if not, I just want to remind you all that I really love you, and your support is so encouraging. It means so much to me. I really love talking to all of you and answering your questions and hearing your ideas, and I love when you join me on my cook-alongs, and I just really appreciate you all. And I'm very happy doing these cook-alongs because you all have really been so lovely. So. Okay, last bite to prove it's edible, and then me voy a despedir. I will say goodbye. Oh, That is straight garlic I just put in my mouth. All right. I'm beginning to understand why people like risotto. Because it is creamy. Yeah, it's really good. I get it. I get it now. So, if you're willing, I do recommend to make risotto. You have 45 minutes to stir. That's really good. Yeah, that's good. All right. So, thank you. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to all of my replay viewers. Let me know you've watched the video in one of my posts in my feed. Send me a message. If you have any questions, let me know. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.